Okay, this is the Target 1M Effects of Transformations retake video, and this is example 1. So we have to find a mapping for this. So remember, the rule is anything on the outside, so this is on the outside and this is on the outside, that affects y. So remember, f of x is just the same as y. So if just for a second I cross this out and replace it with y, because f of x is just y, this looks like 3y plus 1. So right here I'm going to write 3y plus 1. So that's what's happening to the y. Now I'm going to erase that and get another color. And everything in the parentheses, so that's this, affects the x, but it does the opposite. So this says x minus 7. The operation here is subtract. So I want to do the opposite of subtract, which is add. So instead of x minus 7, it's going to be x plus 7. So what's in the parentheses only affects x, and you have to do the opposite. What's in parentheses only affects y, or what's out of the parentheses, the red stuff, only affects y, and it's 3 times this, but this is just y plus 1. Okay, so now I take these points. Now, this gives me this thing here. I don't even need any of that. That's really has no bearing on the problem. This is what I do. I take these points and I plug them in for x. So for this first one, I'm going to say 43 tenths, negative 2, gets mapped to 43 tenths plus 7, comma, now y is negative 2, so 3 times y, which is negative 2, plus 1. So I replaced the x with 43 tenths and the y with negative 2. And now I have to do the math that goes with that. So 7 plus 43 tenths, I'm going to do some work over here. 43 tenths, 10 goes into 43 4 times, so that's really 4 and 3 tenths. So when I add 4 and 3 tenths to 7, well, 4 plus 7 is 11, so this is 11 and 3 tenths. And if I like a mixed number, this would be 10, or this is a mixed number, 11 and 3 tenths is a mixed number. If I wanted an improper fraction, I do 10 times 11, which is 110, plus 3, which is 113 tenths. So I get 113 tenths, comma, and what's 3 times negative 2? Well, that's negative 6 plus 1, which is negative 6 plus 1. So I get 113 tenths minus 5. Okay, now you can leave your answers 11 and 3 tenths, comma negative 5, or 113 tenths over 5. It's up to you. Negative 5, not 5. Okay, I want to just check that that's right, and it is, so moving on. 5, 0. So I'm going to replace x with 5, so I have 5 plus 7. According to the map, I add 7. No parenthesis needed there. And then 3 times 0 plus 1. Well, 5 plus 7 is 12, and 3 times 0 is 0 plus 1, so it looks like 12, 1 is my answer. And it is. Okay, so next we have 59, comma 4. These are some randomly high points I chose. Anyway, I have x plus 7, so x is 59 plus 7. And then I do 3 times 4 plus 1. Well, 59 plus 7 is, I believe, 66. And then 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13, so it's going to be 66 13ths. Okay. So example 2. So everything outside affects the y. So remember, this is like a y. So this is negative, it looks like just 4y. And then inside affects the x, but you do the opposite. Now it's not the opposite sign, it's the opposite operation. So this is dividing, or this is dividing by -5 or multiplying by -1/5. So to fix that, I'm going to multiply by -5. It's the opposite, but it's still negative, so it's going to be -5x. Because the reciprocal of 1/5 is 5, so it's -5 times x. The opposite of dividing by 5 is multiplying by 5. Or dividing by -5 is multiplying by -5. Okay? So the rule, or the mapping, is -5x and then 4y. So now I'm going to do this, the thing with the points. So 43/10, -2. And I'm going to replace x with 43/10, so -5 times 43/10. And then 4 times -2. So here I have -5 times 43/10. This is over 1. Get a different color. 5 actually goes into 10 twice. So really I get -1 times 43, which is -43, over 1 times 2, which is 2. So my answer would be -43/2. And then for the y value, it'd be 4 times my -2, which is -8. So -43/2 and -8. Okay, so now for my point, for my point 5, 0, same thing, replace x with 5, so I have -5 times 5, comma 4 times y, which is 0, and -5 times 5 is -25, and 4 times 0 is 0, so -25, 0. Okay, and then 59 and 4. So I get -5 times 59, and then 4 times 0. Oh, sorry, not 4 times 0. Y is actually 4. So 4 times 4. So that looks 5 times 59. Well, 5 times 50 is 250, and 5 times 9 is 45, so 250 plus 45 should be 295, and it should be negative. So -295, and then 4 times 4 is 16. So -295 and 16. Okay. And example 3. So remember, what's outside affects the y, so this right now is a y. So this would be 1/7 y. And this affects the x, but I do the opposite. This says 6 times x, so instead of timesing by 6, I'm going to divide by 6. So I could write that as x divided by 6, or if I like, 1/6 x. Either way. Okay, so here we go. I have the point 43/10, -2, and I'm going to get 43/10 divided by 6. You know, I want to write this the other way because it's going to make this easier. So I'm going to erase this and write this as 1/6 x. I like that better. And then okay, so I'm sorry, so I have 1/6 times 43/10. That way we don't have that weird fraction over fraction thing. And up here I have 1/6 times 43/10. Whoops, no equal sign here. I need my comma. And then it looks like 1/7 times -2 over 1. So here 43 is prime. There's a number that goes into 43. So this looks like I'm going to have 43/60ths when I multiply that out. And then 1/7 times -2 over 1 is 1 times -2 is -2, and 7 times 1 is 7. So -2/7. And for 50, I have 1/6 times 5, and I'm going to make that over 1. And then 1/7 times 0, and again over 1. Well, 1 times 5 is 5, and 6 times 1 is 6, so I get 5/6, and here I get 1 times 0 is just 0, divided by 7 is still 0. So 5/60. And then the last one is 59/6 and 59 and 4. So I do 1/6 times 59 over 1, and then 1/7 times 4 over 1. So here 1 times 59 is 59, and 6 times 1 is 6, and 59 and 6 have no common factors. And then here I get 4/7. So 59/6 and 4/7. So those are my answers. Okay, so here the retakes are. You need to have work out these problems on your own, and then you need to come down or come to me and show them to me, and I'll sign a form and I'll let you do the retake. If you do this at the Math Lab, it's even more important that you get the form signed so I know that you did the practice problems. I'm not letting anybody do a retake unless I get the practice problems completed with them. Okay. So here is, you try number 1 and number 2, and here's number 3, and here's 4, and that's it. Good luck.